Okay, I think we're ready to go. Hello, my name's BamBam. I'm going to be running Journey to the Savage Planet. I have two people on the couch with me today. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hey, my name's DK Pulse. I run Any% and Tetherless.
Hi, I'm Mimicring. I run Any%.
Okay, so this is a category neither of them run, so this is going to be fantastic. We are just going to start. So timer is going to start when we first gain movement, but for now we're going to do a little bit of menuing, which is going to help us pretty soon. So we'll start the timer and then we'll start explaining it. Okay, timer now. Okay, so if you haven't seen Journey to the Savage Planet, this is a 3D Metroidvania. The general plot of the game is we are stranded on an alien planet. We've been sent out to explore the universe to find somewhere to like colonize for Earth to expand to. However, we crash landed and we need to find out a way to get out. Dog incentive was met, so we have an hour of dog sounds. If that's a good thing for you, we are not alike, because I hate the dog sounds. The main movement in the tutorial is just going to be slide jumps. I'm going to let the stamina get to about half, and then we're going to slide to regain the stamina without losing speed. The tutorial is kind of slow, especially in Any%. It's about 3 minutes out of a 12-minute run, but this one is a little bit more spicy. We have a really great skip called Tutorial Skip, which you'll see pretty soon, just as I finish the tutorials. So that was quick renting, which we will explain in a moment, but first I'm going to do tutorial skip. Okay, let's see how many tries this takes. Come on. I knew tutorial skip was going to be bad today. Nope.
Oh man.
So, this could take me minutes. It shouldn't. This should be easy, but sometimes it just sucks. So we get to hear the dog panting for a bit. Come on.
He doesn't love the dog paint.
I honestly hate the dog so much. I don't know why we did the incentive. Okay, so I guess we can explain this as we do it. Which one of you want to explain what this is? There we go, okay.
DK, you should take this, because you know more than me.
Yeah, so basically the entire, tutorial area and everything surrounding it, I mean, it's a tutorial area. It shows you how to play the game, how certain game mechanics work, systems, etc. And instead of doing all of that, we get to the point where it gives us the gun, because it's required in order to really progress anywhere. And then we use an item jump, which is where you throw one of the many throwables in the game underneath your feet and then jump off of it. And there's like a really weird kind of mantle that you can get in this specific tutorial skip that lets you get up there and grab the first goo of the run.
The best thing about tutorial skip is that it skips none of the tutorial. We initially called it tutorial skip because we thought it did, and then found out that because of how the game flags work, it doesn't actually skip any of the tutorial. So it's only useful really in all goo, so that we can get that goo. And I guess this is probably a good moment to explain what this category is. Do you want to do that, Mimic?
This is all goo. Correct me if I'm wrong, there's 100 goos
There
in the
is.
game that you need to collect. Goos are basically just health
missed
ups
my jump.
and stamina. Yeah, I only watched this run yesterday. Kind
Okay.
of short notice.
All goo is not
me.
hard to understand. It's kind of
Yeah,
in
it's
the
not.
name.
You go around eating alien orange stuff without scanning it, because scanning is a big part of the game, and you just don't die from it somehow. You become stronger.
So unfortunately I missed my jump, and my brain kind of just forgot that I don't have double jump yet. And I tried to double jump, and then, yeah, so that wasn't a great bit. I wish that wasn't on stream. But this is the first upgrade of the run. I also don't have enough glob to do this anymore, so I have to do it normally.
And no rock jump.
Yeah, I could have done rock jump, but like, I haven't practiced it in so long.
Yeah, I probably couldn't do it either.
So this is the first upgrade. We're going to be extracting these liquids throughout the run, and they'll give us different upgrades when we craft them. These green things are called glob. They are bounce pads that the devs kind of just put in as like a fun thing, but they have like no real use. We're speedrunners, we break things, so they are like a godsend for the early game. They break a lot of that section. Okay. I ran out of stamina there, so I ended up crouching. Because I missed.
Okay, would you guys be okay if I just jumped in for a quick moment, just to give
Yeah,
a quick
go for
update here? So, just towards the end of the previous run, we did get 2 donations. But the one that we already mentioned from Glorious Cashew, and also one from Lex Limbo, both congratulating Sam and donating towards the magenta colour for GR18 during Metalhead. So I gotta say, I love the commitment from that community to continue donating to an incentive that is long since expired. And also, we've had $50 from Illegally Sam with a simple message: play Levelhead. Also, thanks for having me. And again, thanks Sam for joining us. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, so far I'm really liking what I'm seeing on this. So tell us some more, guys. What's going on here?
So we just unlocked double jump. Cool. So double jump can be really awkward. When you're good with double jump, it's completely fine. But stuff like that, where you can think that your double jump is reset, and the game will give you your double jump, but not give you your grounded jump, and then you just faceplant into a pit. The other big thing is we can dash. So this is the dodge. But if we bind it to scroll wheel, we can do what's called scroll boosting. Come on. Oh, come on. Okay, that's not good. Of course, this is going to happen to me in a marathon.
Oh look, feels bad.
I think I just have to wait for one to respawn, because both of them came to it. Oh no.
So those creatures you just saw were puffer birds.
I'll get it at the end of the
The
run.
main goal of them is just to slap them and kick them around like little playthings. There's a little like monsters that eat them that opens up unlockables, and that's what BamBam was trying to do, but accidentally missed the mouth hole.
Yeah, they're very hard. So I threw the grob a little bit short, which meant that I didn't have a really nice angle. Okay, I got it. I'm just gonna get it at the end of the run because we come back here and conveniently there's a goo we get at the end of the run that's right next to it. So did I get it? Yes, I did. Okay. So those are pomegranates. It's the only way to break those walls. Normally, you would get an upgrade later in the game, but with some really well-placed throws, we can break them and just makes a cleaner route throughout the world. That is an Ice Stalk. It's kind of meant to be like a stealth mission, but if you throw the Binding Vial, which like sticks enemies, you can just completely skip that entire section. A lot of casual runners have an issue with it because it's completely invincible, and they don't realize that you're supposed to like sneak up on it. I've never gotten those rocks cycle in here before, so I'm pretty happy I got that. I guess we can kind of talk about the resources that I'm picking up. One of you want to cover it?
Yeah, so throughout the game we're gonna need to craft most of these upgrades, and since they are not free, you need either materials from, I guess you could call these areas kind of like dungeons. At the end of these little areas, we pick up a special type of goo, and that allows us to craft them. And then we also need a certain amount of just base materials, either silicon, carbon, aluminum, or... Am I missing one? I feel like I'm missing
No, that's
one.
all three.
Okay. And that'll allow us to craft the various upgrades.
Yeah.
Throughout the game.
Luckily, with all goo, a lot of the goo collectibles happen to have a lot of materials sort of nestled away with them as like a reward. So we generally don't have many issues with like affording things throughout the run, but I have to get a lot of them. We haven't really spoken about quick printing. Do one of you want to explain that? Oh, so close. Damn it.
Quick printing. Let's see. So, during the teleport animation, which BamBam will be doing right now, he is opening up the journals, menuing to the item he wants to print, printing it, closing the journal, and teleporting straight out, all in one quick motion, so you don't see him actually in the menu. Already, like, congratulations, you just unlocked this item screen.
Yeah, one of the major things with teleporting in this game is that it's a lie. The game just moves your character's location, but keeps the world loaded in, which means that a lot of the things you can do with, like, control, you actually can just do it, because like, your character isn't reloading, there's no, like, reloading of the map. The meat gates are such a fun addition to this game.
Are they actually called meat gate?
I think they're like meat grinders or something.
Such a weird name for a creature.
There are some weirder things in this game. It's the one thing
Yeah.
if we could have done 100%, you get to see a lot of the names for some stuff, which a lot of them are very funny. Like, they really nailed the humor with this game. Oh, we never actually explained Echo. Also,
And the
we should have
boredom
explained
she's
this.
off.
Okay, so let's explain that first, because that's probably the most crazy thing to see.
DK, it's all yours.
Yeah, so the trick that you saw right there was called a Wiggly Plasma Yeet, or Whoopee for short. And what it is when you tether to a tether point and you stand on the ground, you can jump to interrupt the tether animation or the tether process. And as a consequence, you get all of the momentum from tethering but it doesn't ever slow you down, so you just retain that momentum in whichever direction you were tethering, and you can launch yourself great distances with it. It's a very useful movement tech for the run. And then also, you may have been wondering why he didn't take any fall damage after grabbing that goo and dropping down. That's because when you're in cutscenes in this game, you're just invincible. So he was able to grab that cutscene while jumping and kind of like disjoint it while falling down, and he didn't take any fall damage.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. I think it works out that there's actually one every world. There are 3 worlds in the game. So it kind of feels somewhat intentional that there's one in each, but we're gonna hopefully get all 3. Sometimes when you jump, if you don't quite have enough speed to go over the edge, you'll like hang on the edge, like the ledge. Or a lot worse, you can totally miss the grab and then lose a lot of time. Can I get through? Okay. So I could have recharged there. However, the recharge for the gun is really awkward. If you do any actions with your hands, pretty much any actions, it will cancel the recharge for the gun. So you have to be really careful when you're recharging it, that you don't like grab things or like slide, for example. That likes to mess up the recharge. And the animation is quite long, so you run into a lot of issues where, oh come on, where you just don't have the time to recharge your gun. Also, these tether points can be a little bit jank sometimes.
Here comes the fun part of the game, where you're basically Spider-Man just fleeing through the world.
Yeah, World 2 is probably where we start seeing the most of the whippies, and then I guess kind of World 3 as well. The world design for World 1 is sort of the tether points are sort of backloaded towards the other half of the world. So unfortunately, you know, we don't get to see that many, but we will see a lot more later. Oh, come on. There's a lot of conserving momentum that you kind of have to like micromanage with this. If you get good at it, you can control the character really well, but sometimes your jump speed can send you just a bit too far. Okay, where is the... No, I've got to actually get some more. So I'm collecting some resources for a skip coming up. I hate the skip. I hate the person who invented the skip. This is the bane of my existence, even if it saves like 5 minutes. Oh, come on. Really? There we go. Just a bit too short. So my estimate kind of factors in me failing this skip, because failing the skip is like 5 minutes. But this skip can also take like 20 or 30 minutes to get sometimes, depending on how well I'm playing. I got it a couple times in practice, which is not too bad, but it's very temperamental, for me at least. So we'll see how this goes. This is sort of the extreme level of item jumps. Oh, come on. No, I got the... And of course I got the instant death. So, I got the item jump. I just didn't get the jump around the wall. When you fall in pits in this game, sometimes you will get a respawn, sometimes it's instant death. Usually, they try to stick instant death as like under the map, so it doesn't really happen very often. It's more just like if you got out of bounds, but some of them can be just really jank. Okay, so that was a really bad whippy. A lot of how whippies work is sort of like an arc. The flatter it is, sort of the more speed you'll get. The higher it is, the slower, but you'll get more height. So there's a kind of a science to finding the right sweet spot. Certain like skips or movement will require you to get a different trajectory. I still have to grob, so I'll give it another go. If I don't get this... Oh, come on. I'll give it another shot. If I don't get this, we'll have to just grab... Oh, I don't know if I have enough resources. So, this is good, I got it, but I still need to do more of the skip, and I don't know if I have enough resources to do this. Oh, come on. No. This is not good. Oh, great, I fell. Okay, I didn't... Oh no, am I soft locked? Okay, I soft locked here in practice, but thankfully I'm not soft locked just yet. Okay. Oh, this is... One throwable might be enough. We will see. If it's enough, I'm going to be very happy. If not, I will have to quit the menu. See if I can get this. Oh, come on. DK, do you know if there was ever a one throw set, like throwable setup that wasn't this? Do you know anywhere?
Not off the top of my head, no. You could do the
Was this
checkpoint.
Right?
Oh, maybe actually.
I just don't know if I need the throwable to get up here. So this is partly skip discovery now. Is there a way for me to do this without Oh, come on. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I don't actually have enough resources to do all of this. There would normally be a continuation here, but I have no resources, so I need to come back later. Usually you wouldn't end up wasting, like, every resource, like I did. But okay, that's the worst part of the run done, for sure. So that skips something in World 3. We'll see shock doors, a lot later in the run, and then we can kind of explain more what happened there. But the general idea is there is a door that we can't pass right now, and by going under the map, we got into that room. It's the only goo in worlds, like in the game, that requires that upgrade. So by skipping it, we can completely skip the upgrade later, which is like a 5-minute auto-scroller. Something like that. Okay, this was giving me a problem in practice. Hopefully this doesn't insta-kill me. So here we're gonna try and use the death respawn. Okay, nice. When you see me fall, if I fall and there's the little orange robot, it means that I'm gonna respawn. If there's no robot, then I won't. So we're coming up to the first boss. This is a really, really difficult boss. This might take me a long time to beat. We'll see. I think both of the other commentators will agree on just how challenging this boss is.
Yeah, when learning any percent, this boss made me want to quit the game at least 14 times.
No memes, it's actually
really hard.
Probably the hardest thing to learn in any percent. I nearly screwed it up.
It is.
So that's Cragtail Skip.
No.
That's a really hard boss. Yeah, so there's a really big invisible wall that normally stops you from getting past that fight, but because we have the ability to fly, we just jump over the fight. So that was a RNG. Yay, okay. So we shoot those pomegranates there and hope that one of them flies off and breaks the wall. Just kind of breaks it while you're in the animation. Okay, so going into World 2 now. This has a lot more whippy points, so you'll be able to see a lot of hopefully really cool movement. Right there you see the first time of me using the side dash to cut all of my momentum in the air. And I'll use that in a couple of places just to like clean up the movement a little bit. So these are the... I don't actually know what they're called in the game. They're like a corrosive acid. Oh, they're blight bombs, that's it. We use them a couple of times in this world, and then we're going to get an upgrade for them later. This game really likes to show you something that you can't use, and then give you an upgrade later on that lets you like carry them around with you. Okay. Luckily, the puffer birds are over here. Sometimes they'll be on the other side of the island, and I have no bait, so that could have been very bad, but it's not. I hope you guys are enjoying the dog sounds.
I'm loving it.
I hate them. I really do. It's just the panting. Like, the dog pain sounds, I love those. Oh, come on. Okay, so these jelly waffles can be a bit annoying. That's their actual name in the game. But luckily we got out without too much problem.
I'm just very curious for a moment.
Yeah.
With the dog sound effect, is that the only alternative sound effect, or are there other ones as well?
So I think there's like 10 profile pictures you can pick. I didn't really explain the dog, I suppose. At the beginning, you choose your character, and there is no visual influence at all, except for the sounds that you pick. And there just happens to be a dog one as like a bit of a joke. Oh, come on. This is a really awkward jump. Because we don't have the upgrade for this. So picking the dog just makes you have dog sounds, but the other characters are all kind of like, I think, sort of 80s Canadian styled. Like they have mullets and sort of like the crazy scientist stuff. And there's quite a lot of different voice lines actually.
Oh, okay, no, I was just curious because obviously the dog sound effect is quite a unique idea to a degree. And then, so have we got like a cat? Have we got like a mouse? Anything else?
No, the rest
no,
the rest are people,
Okay.
which I think just makes the dog that much funnier. That just kind of one of the explorers in the distant future is a dog. A lot of people, when they start this game, pick the dog, thinking that it'll be funny, and then realize very quickly why it's not. And then I'm just like, oh, I'm stuck with the dog for the rest of the game now. Because the sound effects get old very quickly.
I can imagine, yeah. So, have you got 2 seconds just for me to do?
Yeah, go for it.
So, obviously, I did read these donations earlier, but I don't remember whether I mentioned about Save the Animals or Save the Frames in Super Metroid, which currently has only $18 worth of difference in it. So, if you want to influence that one, good time to start getting a donation in on that. We do still have the Blaze versus Sonic as the character in Sonic Rush. Blaze is still winning that also by $18, funnily enough. And we have met the target for saving the Dakora in Super Metroid, so Kev Nastics, we are going to get to see that later, my friend, and I'm looking forward to it because it's just a cool little novelty thing that you can throw into a run, and it's really, really nice. And just as a final reminder again, we are doing this event to raise money for Team C's. And if you were familiar with the success of the Team Trees that came about before, same group of people got this going up, and this one is dedicated to cleaning rubbish, or trash as the Americans would call it here, out of the ocean. And that, for every dollar we get donated, that will allow us to clean I believe it's £1 of rubbish or trash from the oceans. So at the moment, we have got a lot of weight getting cleaned out, but there is always more to go. There is always a lot more we could do to help clean up our environment a little bit more. So anything you can donate, we are grateful to have to get this, help get this cause going as far as possible with cleaning up our oceans. And again, sorry for taking up so much of your time, guys. Back to you, Bam Bam.
No, it's fine. This is all 100% part of the run. I definitely didn't make a mistake. 100%. There's no chance that I'm missing resources and a goo that I totally forgot. So yeah, this was intended. Definitely. I didn't forget this. Why would you think that? That was a scary moment, but luckily I realized very quickly which one I was missing.
Might be a good time to grab the pufferbird
Iron
meat gate things.
Oh, that's why I forgot about it actually, now that you mention it, because I went from the hanging one to the meat gate thinking, oh, this will be a nice one to just do now, and then I was like, oh yeah, I didn't drop down.
Alright.
So that's a bit embarrassing, but not too much of a time loss.
I believe that's what they call marathon luck.
Yeah. It was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna forget one at some point. The biggest problem with 100 of them, so the game splits them in the achievement of 40, 40, and 20, so you know vaguely what world they're in. But there is kind of that question of okay, which one of the 40 am I missing? It can be a nightmare at the end of the run when you have 99 and don't know which one you need to get. but thankfully I could work it out from my resources. Okay, that's not going to work. So this is a really awkward whippy, but with... Oh no, why did I do that? So here I'm going to try and avoid the islands so that I just respawn. Because we have so much health now that respawning is fine. Really? Okay, so I'm choking.
At least you're not getting instant death.
I guess actually, yeah, so this place is pretty good in that I guess maybe they sort of expected you to fall down a lot, so they really kind of made sure that none of those pits would kill you. It's the same in World 3 in a lot of places. It's one of the few places in the game where you're pretty confident that you won't just instantly die. So we kind of forgot to mention, I'm currently doing a quest. This is to get the crystals. I shot that one too far. So those crystals we've been extracting, this one is broken, so we have to go and find all the fragments. I started the quest by scanning the quest statue. We haven't really spoken about scanning because it's not really needed in this run, but normally you should be scanning things to document them. The only one we needed was scanning the shrine. I actually scanned by accident. That's the wrong button. I'm choking so badly. Yeah, we're nearly done with the next upgrade. And this world.
We're officially over halfway.
Yes.
All goo.
It's usually not that one, but because I missed one earlier, my number is like slightly off, so I have to remind myself that I'm not missing a goo.
The classic hidden behind the waterfall.
Yeah, every game's got to have behind the waterfall, right?
Yeah. It's just such a classic trope in movies, stories, and games. It's a crime to not have it.
There's a really big waterfall in World 1, and you kind of assume that it's going to be there. And then they just hide it behind this tiny one that's like hardly noticeable.
At least I made it a little bit challenging to find.
Yeah. So this is advanced tether. When I extract these, I am setting up my menu so that during that transition I can really quickly just I can like menu really fast, so I already know where I am in the menus. And that just kind of saves a little bit of time. Oh no. I'm missing more aluminium. Oh, where can I get aluminium? That's not good. Quick, where are the aluminium spawns? Oh, I think there's one around here.
And you really know this game in the back of your hand.
Yeah. I have played this game too much. I know where everything is. What I don't know is how I missed, which aluminium deposit I missed. I didn't think of all the things I could mess up. It would be the resources. I thought that would be fine. But I guess not.
here comes my personal hell.
Yeah, so
The worst
this
place
is,
in any percent.
yeah, do you want to explain why this place is so bad?
The flying orange things you see are hornets. They are completely random and they will block you, and you'll lose all your momentum and fall and take damage. Really great fun, especially when you get out of bounds here and they just block you and knock you way down. Great
Yeah,
fun.
so the any percent route ends the run basically here by going out of bounds. And they go out of bounds in this tree, which those hornets love to stop. This is quite a tight jump, so I might fail this. Okay, nice. I haven't failed that in a while, actually. This is one of my favorite whippies, because you bonk to get speed in a different direction. And it just looks really cool. A lot of this run is just point A to point B, but it's a nice sort of contrast to any percent, where you basically look at nothing, you blitz through the world, grab it like 5 things, and then peace out in about 10 minutes. So this category is quite nice to stop and take in a little bit more of the scenery. We get to see some of World 3, which is usually not seen, like, ever. So try the next cutscene drop. Yeah. So there, if you didn't see the first cutscene drop, that's the next one. Every time I hit my face into that wall.
I'm not surprised. The cave sections in this game are very tight.
Yeah, especially if you try and do the whippies for them, you need to be really careful because you will bonk on a lot of things. Very small changes in your angle can really change how your trajectory, as well as like the release time. Depending on when you release it, will change your angle as well, and that can change like the speed you get, which has disastrous consequences sometimes.
So just another quick... sorry, go on.
I know it's fine, I wasn't going to say anything really.
All I was going to say is just another quick question for you. This may have been mentioned already, and I may have just been being completely ignorant at the time. But this particular run, does this involve getting all the goo and then finishing the game, or is this literally RTA to get in the last goo?
It's getting the last goo, only because I do tutorial skip, and I'm too lazy to shoot one crystal, so we can't finish the game. And rather than actually shoot the crystal, I was like, okay, let's just do all goo and nothing else. So yeah, this is gonna end on just the last goo grab, only because the tutorial skip is too fun to do, but too slow if we try and finish the game, because of like how flags work.
So in that case, in this game, if you don't finish that tutorial as expected, you cannot finish as normal, or you'd have to backtrack and do something else? So
there's 2 endings in this game. I guess we can talk all about like the history of that as well then. Yeah, so there's 2 endings in this game. One is beating like quote unquote the final boss. And then the other is just leaving the planet without beating the boss. You can just fix your ship and fly away. And then there's the true ending of doing both of them. The button to like launch your ship at the end won't be active if you don't do all of the tutorial for some reason. You can skip every other quest, like that's fine, but the tutorial mission has to be completed for the ship to work. You can beat the final boss instead, but usually you need the gun for that. And if you're doing tutorial skip, you're probably skipping the gun. Otherwise, you're not skipping anything. And like fighting the final boss without the gun is, I think it's possible. It's very, very difficult, and using some very stupid glitches that no one in their right mind would ever actually reasonably do.
I'm glad
means
you
I've always do
reasonably in there. I think because I know plenty of people who would do things that most people in their right minds would never do.
Yeah. So it's just like such a silly glitch that like the fight would probably take you like 20 or 30 minutes just from how janky the whole thing is. And like there's a good number of runners for this game, but not enough that you get someone who's willing to do something like that.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I suppose the one of you want to talk about like OGM and all that? Oh no.
Yeah, sure. So basically, when the game first came out, we ran for any percent an entirely different like route than we currently do, because there was a glitch that the original moderator for the speedrun.com board, Panjin Drum, found, where if you died within certain coordinates on the game map, it would respawn you in the final area of the game. It's mostly because when you're in the final area of the game and you die, it respawns you in there, so you don't go back to your kind of like ship like you normally would. So as it turns out, the entire game world is stored kind of like in the same general like world, but just certain parts of it are loaded and deloaded at given times. So if you were to die in the final area in the first world, it would respawn you in the final area, and then you could just go to the map, hit a certain trigger, and it would bring like the final elevator down to go fight the final boss. At a certain point in time, I think it was around when they added photo mode, also old game minus, which is like another sort of like way to play the game. They patched that glitch that caused the elevator to come down, and as a consequence, we can't kill the final boss anymore as like an any percent strat, because it just takes way too long to trigger the final boss to spawn. It's just better to go for the 5 fuel ending, which is the main difference between pre-OGM and post-OGM.
Yeah. So this is Flute Mother, or whatever the game actually calls her. This is the second world boss, and annoyingly, there is no way to skip her. The fight itself is fairly easy. You just have to go around and... No, come on. Okay. Not good, but we'll make it work. So yeah, you're gonna shoot these weak spots around her body while she's spawning Floop Snoots, which are these annoying little sort of mosquito-like creatures. They are really irritating and can hit you from pretty much anywhere. But generally, as long as you move around in a circle, the fight's not too bad. Especially in like OGM, not OGM, sorry, in Olgo we have so much health that we can basically just ignore them. The way bosses work in this game, they kind of have like 3 phases, which you can see on their health bar as like those black dividing lines. And like something new will happen. In this case, she gets armor on her weak spots and you have to break it. But it should be fine. My health's a little low. Oh, it's not. There is a timer for these health plants to respawn, and unfortunately it's just not been long enough. Come on, can I get that? No, I can't. Oh, I thought I could get past that without taking damage. The hitboxes for some of these bosses can be really awkward. Oh no, am I gonna... Okay, no, it's respawned, okay. Can I get it? I can, okay. Not the cleanest fight I've ever had, but it'll do. And now we can move to the next world.
Oh yeah. World 3. The home of my favorite monster.
What's your favorite monster?
The really derpy looking ones right at the start.
The Maroons.
Those. Yeah, Maroons, that's it.
Especially because
them
there's...
if I can. Just for because they're so fun. Yeah,
There's
these
one
guys,
behind
these are Maroons. They're just vibing.
They're just
I'm not
loving life.
gonna kick them because that's mean. But if you kick them, they keep walking in the air with just their really derpy walk, and they just kind of walk off to into the void. Okay, this is a really awkward launch. We'll see if I get it. I did.
Nice.
Wow. I was really struggling with that in
try.
practice. It was also a pretty bad launch. Usually you don't have to like ledge grab. I really like those guys as well. They're really funny.
The whack-a-mole type
Yeah.
of guys.
They're just really annoying because they do a lot of damage.
The only reason I know about them, like off the top of my head, is because there's an achievement to kill 5 of them in like 3 seconds.
We're nowhere near enough height. There we go. Yeah, so this world was designed a lot more with the tether in mind. So, fortunately, we get a lot more flying around, which is really fun. Okay, so this is Shock Fruit. It's the last upgrade. The skip we did at the beginning that was really bad was designed to skip that, basically. By using the shock, the shock fruit, we can freeze the door so it doesn't like shut down on us, because it normally detects your presence and like closes too fast. That's not going to work. That's better. Oh, I'm on 3 health. Okay. I have the minimum amount of health to make the skip work. If I take any other damage right now, this is bad. So I have to try and not step too far forward, because hopefully... So this is a really long fall. Yes, okay. If you don't step far forward enough, you can respawn above. If you do step too far forward, it will respawn you on the other side of the wall, and it's a lot of time loss. This is enough health. Okay, so this is like the final mini-boss. We've kind of skipped all the other mini-bosses and never had to worry about them. These guys are Slamphibians. They're really hard. Just stick them to the ground and shoot them. But their body makes the hitboxes really awkward. And now we just have to wait for him to finish. In their second phase, you basically just have to dodge. Every mini-boss in this game is just a dodge simulator. If you dodge enough attacks, they'll open their weak spots for you. Like so. Grab a bit more health. Where is he? There he is. Got you. So this is just the armored version. Unfortunately, it aggroes all of these guys. Okay, not good. This fight is always just a bit of a mess. What are you doing? Okay, again, not a great fight, but we'll make it work. And now we're gonna get the last upgrade of the run. And from here it's just run and grab go. What time are we looking at roughly? Because I don't have it up.
So at the moment, our timer has got us 56 minutes and roughly 30 seconds into the run.
What am I doing?
Well, probably a little bit ahead of that actually, but roughly there.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So, I mean, how would that compare with your current PB with where you are right now?
I'm not sure. My PB is a 103, so
Okay.
I have about 7 minutes to finish the run, which I don't think I can do. I think this will be a lot better than my practice, and it's definitely going to be estimate.
Oh, that's fine. It was more out of interest with the whole, that bit that you definitely didn't forget about earlier, and definitely were
Yeah, I mean,
to sort out.
Not going to be world record. Pretty confident about that, but a solid run, especially for a marathon. I haven't ran this game properly in like 3 or 4 months. I didn't have that much time to de-rust, so yeah, I think it's pretty good. This isn't a really difficult game to learn. If anyone's like considering learning it, a lot of the tricks are quite easy to sort of do once. Mastering them is the biggest challenge. But like, it's a 15-minute run for any percent, and pretty much anyone can pick it up and just do the run.
Yeah, I think it took me probably an hour to learn any percent. And my first run was probably 30 minutes. And then 20, then it just kept going down from there.
Yeah,
was a
once
great
you
game
get
to
like
pick up.
once you get a clean enough deathless run, sub 15 is very easy. And then you just have to start doing crazy skips to compete with DK, who has like an 11-minute run, which is absurd.
He has a 10:49.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, I should say
Yeah.
sub 11, which is honestly incredible. So that can happen.
I've never seen that.
We might see that on Broken Bridge later. That's way too left. That's fine.
You got it.
I need one more seed. Okay. One there. I don't think I can throw it from here. Oh. You can land up there if you're lucky. Oh, come on. He's just in a really, really bad spot. He's in such an inconvenient spot, honestly.
To be fair, you're the one coming to his home,
Yeah,
eating all his goo.
I don't see him eating the goo. How's he gonna eat this goo? It's pretty well hidden. So I guess something we should mention, what resources? Okay. These pits, you're supposed to have an upgrade to get out of, because like the devs kind of assumed that there's no way for you to get to this point in the game without the upgrade. And that upgrade is like a super jump. However, you know, we're speedrunners with whippies and like just glob jumps in general. We can skip all of those super jumps. So we kind of have to get creative with item jumps and glob to escape these holes. So this is like the bit of the run where you get to see item jumps the most. Until the end, where the worst item jump ever is... Oh, come on. Get away.
I remember this pit in your PB.
It's an annoying pit. Of all the pits, I think this is probably the worst one. Just because these rims, like... I'm just gonna have to clop. But now I have no globs, so... Oh, come on. Yeah, the biggest issue with, like, side dashing is just... You get stuck in a lot of collision.
Did I miss it, or did we already go past the auto-scroller section?
Oh yeah, we went way past that.
Yeah.
Okay, this was 2 left, unfortunately, so I have to kind of do a backup.
Okay, I've got to ask because I also missed an auto-scroller section.
Okay,
Seems like the sort of game for that.
I say auto-scroller, it's kind of like Defend the Hill, but for like a set amount of time. And yes, it's so out of place in the game, and so kind of like jarring when you get to this point in the game where like even casually the game feels quite fluid. and then just randomly you have to sort of just defend the hill for like 5 minutes, and it sucks.
Yeah, so that's the point of shock skip. So we skip the entire audio scroller or defend the hill. It's not fun. All it is just puffer birds walking up a hill and you just shoot them.
I mean, like, as a mini game, it's fun enough because they do pretty well in sort of terrain hazards to like kill them. I missed my stop. But for a speedrunner, it's definitely the most tedious bit of the game. Oh yeah, it's
Yeah, well,
Yeah, my casual playthrough gave me a little bit of trouble.
what we're shooting at.
I mean, I haven't played this game, but you know, any game where I can skip an auto scroller is always considered a bonus in my books.
I mean, if you want to do shock skip, go for it. It's not that hard to do. I kind of oversell it a little bit, but it genuinely drives me crazy. It's just too difficult for me. Oh, are you in the wrong spot? Okay, so this is a little bit of RNG. These guys shoot electric, and hopefully they will hit the door. Oh no, come on. Don't do this to me. There's no choice now, I just have to wait.
Just go for a stroll, okay?
Luckily I can just make them run away. But now you need to electrocute. Okay, there we go. So you can see kind of how these doors are supposed to work. Getting towards... Oh, I've never actually seen them electrocuted. So this is another kind of super jump skip. Normally we would have like a really high sort of moon jump, but because we never get that, we just have to do some parkour. And then, that was close. We're just gonna jump off the map. And land up here. This isn't actually the intended way to get up here. Normally you're supposed to like climb the tower from outside, but we can just drop from above. And here I'm actually going to quit out because there is no teleporter remotely close.
So just as a rough estimate, how far off would you say we are from the end of the game here?
I'm gonna check my goo count just to double check that I'm not missing anything that I should be missing. No, okay. So yeah, couple minutes.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty close to being done. There are 1 or 2 tricks left that can cause a problem, but if they're fine, yeah, it should be like maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
So this is probably, in my opinion, the worst whippy in the game, and I might just get it straight away, but there is a death plane really close, like below, so you have to kind of fly up pretty quickly, and luckily I got it second try. Why did I say anything?
You got it first try. First try every try.
This happens a lot, where you just grab the pillar. Okay, this should be better, as long as I can stop. Yeah, okay. This entire area is really awkward terrain, and I had to get the pomegranate in this run, but normally in any percent you would just do the crag floor skip and then jump through that out of bounds to get to the second world. Okay, let's see if I can time this right. So that is the only like use of the pomegranate upgrade you need in World 1. And it's technically not, because DK found the dumbest skip ever. It is impossibly hard, using some really crazy whippy speed and grabbing an upgrade with some other glitches we can't even like get close to explaining at the moment. You can technically do that, but I will never do it because it's just impossibly hard. And that's why he has the World 1 world record, and I will never run that category because, you know, it's a terrible skip. This is another fun whippy because it just lines up so well. Okay, 98. $99, and 100 is kind of far away, but it's also probably one of the worst in the game. What? There we go. I've got 3 Grob. I can do it with Grob. That'll be fine. So there is the final. Come on. There's the final goo. It is at the top of a very big tower. To get to the top of that tower, you need quadruple jump, which is a lot of upgrades and a lot of missions. But as always, DK finds really stupid skips. And he managed to find a way up here. Nope. Okay. The question is just, how long does this take me? Okay, time.
Hey.
And that is time. And then we just jump into the void.
And get the insta kill. Oh, yeah.
Well, GG.
Yeah, I was kind of like, am I going to get the insta-kill or not? It's going to look sad. Yeah, so that was Journey to the Savage Planet, all goo. If you are interested in learning more about the game, we have a Discord, which you can find on our SRC page. If you have Prime Gaming, you can actually get this game for free. Until I think about the beginning of January, maybe first week. It's a
Yeah, I think
permanent.
it's the third.
Yeah, something
Jan.
like that. It's permanent, so it's not like a subscription thing. If you just happen to have Prime Gaming or, you know, free trial, whatever you do, you can get this game, come join us, speedrun. It's really easy. It's really fun.
Nearly gave me a heart attack.
Like, it's a 15-minute run for all for any percent, an hour
I'd
for
like an
this,
update
and
on some new
then
discoveries
3 hours
regarding your
for
planet. We found something down there.
3 hours for what's it called 100%. That's it. And then, yeah. So that's the run.
Okay, well, thank you so much, BamBam, DK and Mimicry. It's been a pleasure to have you all. So we're going to head out now. We're going to rush out a little bit quicker than we have with the last few because next up is Vision Soft Reset by myself, where we'll be running 100% true ending. We'll talk a little bit more about that when the game actually gets going, but we will also have Baron Bishop coming back to be a brother to the cause and to host for my run. So yeah, we're gonna head straight out now, and hopefully you're all gonna hang around and we're gonna get to have a lot of fun. So again, thank you BamBam, thank you DK, thank you Mimicry. This was a lot of fun as a run, and it's like, as I said earlier, I wanted to play this game already, but now I really want to get stuck in and have a go at this game sometime soon. So thank you for that, and yeah,
Yeah, thanks for having
we will
us.
be back shortly.